Good morning. Truth Disclosure 369. Hopefully everyone is well, despite the craziness going on around us. For those who check in or may come across this video, um, greet you in the greeting universal words of peace. Got my sidekick sitting right here, Midnight the Battle Cat. Just wanted to get on here today. It's been a couple of days full of events happening. The last 24 hours is no different. Everything, distractions everywhere. Person can't even stay focused on one item because before you can fully analyze that, something else hits the fan. That's the world that we are currently realizing the reality of. Um, I wanted to go into a couple of things. Just want to share this real quick because this was heavily talked about over the last couple of days after the FBI come out saying that they actually were involved in this, and this is dealing with the FBI ran over 3 million searches on Americans' electronic data, which gives to the purpose that no matter how much people think these folks is in doing what is right and just for people, no matter what fucking color you are, once again, it proves that these folks do not give a damn. They're doing shit arbitrarily for everybody. The FBI is no damn saint law enforcement group. So much questionable shit in their past, so much questionable shit throughout the durations of what the fuck they have been doing, how far they have been encroaching on civil liberties, using the full might authority of their so-called jurisdiction, which in a lot of times is illegal, but yet people still give them prominence. Still respect the institution for being somehow this, that, and the third. When you can't really, and I agree with this. You can't say that all FBI agents are full of it or on some agenda or everything. Many are just like an average person who working a job. We got to do what we got to do. And they may be passionate about their job, just like a police officer in the city, all across the country, anywhere. They not coming to work to call the problem, to do this, do that. They just come in to fulfill their obligation toward whatever civil group they are a part of, and which is the FBI is a law enforcement agency. But yet they do a whole lot of fucking hidden shit and secret shit that they don't get called out for. And people just continue to roll with the punches, like their nose and ain't getting bloodied and their eye ain't getting blackened. So let me go into this article. For the first time, the approximate number of searches run by the Federal Bureau of Investigation against U.S. citizens using data collected from Section 702 inquiries is available within the annual Statistical Transparency Report, revealing that the approximate number of searches on U.S. citizens' electronic data by the FBI was just under 3,394,053, or about 3.4 million, all without a warrant. Now, this is just one aspect in which they have been called out on, or they actually come out. This stuff been going on for years. And as long as social media, everybody think that this internet and all this shit is so convenient and everything, which that is true, but at the same time, every time we get on this shit, yeah, the reality of it, I have come to the conclusion that I don't give a fuck. To when I get online, I know my shit being read, I know my shit is being looked at. I know certain things that may be said that may raise an eyebrow here or there, like a lot of people. I know our phones are being listened to. You know, anytime you throw the FBI, the NSA, the CIA, all these different organizations, and you involve social media, and then you involve all these this move to try and squash anybody who comes, or any groups or any institutions or any some people who are trying to advance another narrative or an objective thinking, then you automatically they automatically know what's up with people just by the algorithms is on everything. That should have been a red flag for everybody in the first place. Why the fuck every time I get on my phone or on my laptop or I go on the computer, shit that I didn't even think of pops up? But I know I looked at this shit a week ago, a couple of days ago, you know, and now all of a sudden all this stuff is popping up. I didn't get on there today to look at it, but this is the shit a lot of people should have been paying attention to. So, you know, all of our stuff is being seen, all of our stuff is out there. You know, people that's around here putting all their business out on shit, all these social media sites and Facebook and all that bullshit. Everybody's doing that shit. I hope you know and hope you're aware that all your shit is out here in the open. Whether you want to deny it or not, it's out here. I guarantee you these motherfuckers could go in and pull up all type of information from calls, from correspondence, from different communications between certain. I don't give a fuck if it's from a media site, social media site, on down to emails. These folks know it, to your damn text messages. But yet this is a free society in which it seems like it's slowly being turned into an authoritarian dictatorship, and people are allowing it to happen. That's what I've been screaming. So yes, they come out with this. This is from the 3rd yesterday. So let's keep going. The 2021 year report, a document issued annually that outlines U.S. intelligence agency surveillance practices, was released in late April by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. It offers a snapshot of the data queries agencies run against non-U.S. persons under the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act Amendment Section 702. And this is something that they use as a legitimate. They always scream that they looking out for people, terrorists and all this shit that, you know, threats to the homeland, you know, foreign threats that may be here. But, you know, if that is the case, then why is U.S. citizens, why are majority of the shit is U.S. citizens? And if they really were about that, then the reports that like 40 something named terrorists, so-called terrorists, have crossed the border due to the Afghanistan debacle. Matter of fact, they didn't cross the border; they were actually brought over here. And I'm gonna bring up an article on that. But yet the FBI ain't really speaking on that. You know, when that shit happened in Afghanistan, they was shipping people over here, Afghanistan over here. It came out a couple of last week that several of them were on the terrorist watch list. But you don't hear the FBI speaking on it. You see them talking about other shit. Right now, the whole thing is talking about finding a leak for this Supreme Court Roe versus Wade shit. And but you won't hear nothing about that shit. Wonder why? Maybe because they're sitting up too busy trying to spy on everybody that's from here. I don't know, and then use January 6th as a pretext, uh, something that looked like a staged riot. But anyway, this is just wanted to share that. So every time you get on Facebook, every time you get on Twitter, every time, don't matter if Elon own it or not. Every time your ass get on any of these things and they have all that shit talking about all that in the fine print of privacy and all that other shit. And it said, oh yeah, we won't disclose any information. That shit is hogwash. These folks have always been in people's shit. Shit that I've been online doing over the last however long since this shit has been popular. They've been doing this shit to me too. So you think these folks don't know everything that's going on in folks' shit? I guarantee if you do one thing that's that can be considered criminal and where they can track your ass down, they going straight to your they going straight to everything they have, which they do anyway. They go to your calls, they go to your texts, and then they go to all your social internet history. So when people putting all their business out here, putting all their skeletons, putting all their stuff, some people may be doing this shit just genuinely, just having a good time with other people that they're communicating with. Just know these folks are watching. Sad, but it's true. So I just wanted to share that because this is something that people, once again, you got another institution. I don't have respect for it. I don't have respect for the institution. The people that work there, I still respect them as human beings. Now, whatever they do with that humanity, whether they oppress other humanity or they're trying work for the good of humanity, that's a different story. But the institution, I do not respect because it's all a bunch of lies. These folks have been hooked up in a lot of shit. They're sitting up here doing this stuff. They still ain't been held accountable for a lot of the stuff they getting blamed for, dealing with January 6th, dealing with Simone Biles and all those girls that was dealing with the sexual assault case from University of Michigan and all that with Nasser and all these that sick guy, and the FBI was called in and they was slow poking and slow rolling and not doing what they were supposed to do. And those girls actually said that shit. Said these folks ain't been doing what they were supposed to be doing in the first place. They said this shit last year. Like the FBI was not saying what they weren't going after the people. They weren't taking shit seriously, but they don't speak on that shit. Same institution that's supposed to keep you safe. A little bump up in the upgrade from the regular police, but they supposed to keep you safe, and they doing shit like that. So just be wary of that. And since I brought that up, I wanted to go into this whole deal about this abortion thing. So now, without getting into whether a person agrees with or not, with Roe versus Wade, the whole thing is the irony of it is, once again, people are being pitted against one another over a subject that is completely being manipulated and completely brought up at this time to keep people from focusing on how these folks are fucking us all over. So now you're gonna have women everywhere and those that support for or against, throwing all their energy into something that these folks know damn well they didn't help to manipulate into a situation to distract people. Because if that was the case, why aren't these same people? Why is it this same energy that they're showing right here? Why is it this same energy being used when talking about issues with the FBI overstepping their boundaries with citizens? Why isn't this same energy being used when talking about the discrepancies on vaccines and overreach of government? and the lies and the continual hypocrisy of leaders. Why isn't this same energy being put out with the games that billionaires and stockholders and insider traders and all them shits and fake ass politicians that are part of that shit that are doing, that are causing housing crisis and all this other stuff? People are being put out of their shit, forced out of their shit directly due to just the way their economy is. Why isn't that same energy being put into that? Why isn't that energy being put out there about women, men, children being forced to live in cars, sleep in tents, all this? Why is it that same energy? Why? Why is it that same energy being put in to the border that's wide open and more people are coming through while this country sends money everywhere else across the planet? Why is it that same energy? Why is that same energy not displayed on some of the stuff that really is impacting a lot of people? You have to ask yourself. So these folks have pressed a button, and then they want people to. Me personally, you know, I don't believe this shit was leaked like that. This shit was something they wanted to get people caught up in, so you could be distracted from other shit they doing. Not only, you know, continue to do in this country, to continue to do overseas, continue to steal from working Americans, and then act like they don't, you know, when people call shit out, act like they don't know what they're talking about, then downplay it to a, you know, reserve it to a so-called conspiracy theorist or whatever. Where's that same energy? Where's that same energy for this government sitting up here telling they're going to create through the Homeland Security a department that monitors information, or what they've been calling a truth ministry, a ministry of truth, which is dangerous because this is just shit that Hitler and all the known tyrants and dictators at the time, this is what they had used to, you know, to propagate their propaganda and to make sure everybody falls in line with the narrative they wanted to go. No matter murder, no matter poverty, no matter famine, death, all that shit took place. You can't say nothing outside of what this ministry of truth would expect you to say. Anything else, you come now an enemy of the state. Why ain't people bringing energy to that? And then the sad part about it, you know, I ain't even gonna show that dumbass video with the lady they got over it singing and shit. That's the same. This is the clown world. Clown world. So, you know, it's sad that now we have this because this is a hot topic. You got all these dumbass Democrats, fake so-called care about people's freedoms and rights. See them here talking all this shit. Elizabeth Warren talking, I'm angry. Are you angry about all those people coming in across the border? Are you angry about the fact that this government is trying to send 33 million to Ukraine while people over here being booted out of their houses? And the game that they're playing, you know, a lot of these entities are buying up a lot of this property and renting it out at outrageous prices where people can't afford the shit. Are you angry about that? Are you angry about the fact that more information is coming out about how these vaccines are fucking people up? Are you angry about that? Are you angry about the fact that Fauci continues to lie and hasn't been held accountable for lying to Congress? Are you angry about that? I bet you she won't answer none of them questions. Are you angry about that? I guarantee you that they're not going to answer that. Are you angry about the fact that taxpayer money is being used to fund shit in another country that could be housing the same shit American citizens were told to stand against, which is Nazis or Nazism? Are you angry about that? Oh, you know, well, that don't exist. That's not true. And now, hold on a minute. I'm gonna get up out of here because I'm gonna go to this real quick. Now, I'm gonna go to this article because this is actually something that these motherfuckers are definitely not trying to this is an article from 2018. A little bit before all this stuff started to go down. Congress members call out Ukraine government for glorifying Nazis. In bipartisan letter, 50 U.S. lawmakers condemn new legislation, slam government-backed events, hailing Nazi-allied militias. More than 50 U.S. Congress members condemned Ukrainian legislation that said glorifies Nazi collaborators and therefore goes further than Poland's laws or rhetoric about the Holocaust. Wow. Now let me go down to here. In Ukraine, a revolution in 2013 that ended the rule of a key Kremlin ally, ushering in a wave of nationalism that coincided with what Israeli researchers of anti-Semitism in January. Now, this is a Israeli, so you know this is a Jewish publication. Don't hear, you know, so you know they're gonna call out anything that's dealing with Nazis or anything dealing with that, anti-Semitism or whatever. They're gonna call it out. But this is the thing. You had lawmakers here, these fake ass lawmakers that sit up and talk all this shit. You had them could say shit about that. What's the deal now? Now that it's full-blown conflict between Nazis and Russia. Nazis always been at it with Russians. Even when that Russia was part of the Soviet Union, you know, that was a whole thing. Nazis are on one spectrum, communism or that would be considered communist is on another spectrum. They collide. So here we are. All this money that's going on there. Elizabeth Warren, are you angry? Are you angry about that? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Folks need to wake the fuck up, man. It's ridiculous now because now this shit it's starting to look like a lot of people are so dumbed down that you know how it is. These folks are just playing with people's intelligence, and a lot of people act like they got intelligence and yet doing and allowing and participating in stupid shit that's continuing to fuck everybody over. And that's the sad fucking, I mean, you can't even explain it no simpler. The stupidity of a lot of us is fucking us all up. Simple. And while I'm still on that, let me go to this. And since we are still on the topic of the Ukraine war, a lot more information is coming out about this whole proxy war thing that the United States is really not in that shit for the Ukrainian people. They're only in this shit to try and keep Russia at bay from doing whatever Russia wants to do to further their interests. In that part of the world, the United States don't want that to happen. So they would use whatever means possible, including the Ukrainian military, Nazis and all, mercenaries, people from over here that took their asses over there to fight in shit that they know is a fucking lie, or once they got there, they found out it's a lie. Shit that has controversy that go all the way back to 2014, and fight the war like that. We can't send our troops over there. We can't start sending doing airstrikes, none of that. Yeah, we just keep it a proxy war. We'll use Ukraine because I mean anybody who got common sense should know the ridiculous shit that odds that the Ukrainian people are facing with Russia. I don't know what people think, man. Russia outnumbers that motherfucking country 10-1. If you look at it, you know what I mean? All the weapons that NATO and other countries in the West And this country can see, and that still can't stop the shit that Russia has. And if, to be honest, if Russia really wanted to take that shit over, they could have been done it. So here we go. This is from the Daily Beast, another propaganda arm. Pope Francis says NATO started war in Ukraine by barking at Putin's door. And I guess the Pope is gonna get censored. You know, you say that shit here. You know, that's a good question. Is the Pope gonna get censored behind this? If you say anything like that and you not the Pope, or you from here somewhere else, of course you're gonna be called a Putin sympathizer. You with Russia, all this other shit. I wonder, is the Pope gonna be censored? He said that NATO is the reason why, which a lot of people tried to warn people before this shit started is the reason why. I don't take no sides, you know, I just want the shit to be over because people are suffering. People who are suffering is what I care about. I don't give a fuck about these folks' egos and all that shit they talking about, because a lot of it is mixed with lies and mingled with the innocent's blood. And no way I could agree with either or, period. But for the people to finally have peace. So I wonder if the Pope gonna be censored behind that shit. And you know, they've been trying to say that the reason why a lot of this stuff Russia took the role that they're involved in right now is simply because of the fact that NATO and Western countries were trying to move and get countries to move into NATO and surround them. They don't want that shit. I mean, any country, when you talk about militarily, strategically, yeah, you don't want enemy countries right there at your fucking border all the time. You know, you need, that's what you want, at least a buffer zone. And you know, definitely it's more to this shit. But like I said, when you got people who don't even try to look past what lying ass media and what lying ass officials here have to say, while they're acting like they're angry about what happened with Supreme Court, which is another distraction from the bullshit that they're doing over here and lying to everybody about what's really going on in Ukraine. So I wanted to share that. I'm still gonna wait and see if is the Pope going to be censored for speaking against Ukraine, and all Western allies who in NATO who support that shit. I wonder if they're going to censor the Pope. That's going to be that's a good ass question. Are they going to censor the Pope? We know damn well that's not going to happen. But I guarantee you, prying eyes are all over this spread right now. NSA, FBI, whoever else fuck looking at it. And they probably gonna do whatever to make sure this shit gets shadow banned or don't even get acknowledgement. But is the Pope gonna get that shit? No. So just wanted to share that. Then I'm gonna go to this. First commercial brain computer interface is entering human trials. So here we go. Synchron Inc., which develops a so-called brain-computer interface and competes with Elon Musk Neuralink. This is the same thing that, you know, the savior of Twitter that everybody running around thinking is going to be about free speech, which may be, maybe not. I really don't know who's to say, but my whole issue is I can't really support nobody that wants to infringe on, well, I guess it'd be up to that individual person if they would want some shit like that. But if you're trying to hook people up to AI or some type of brain computer interface, which will take the humanity from that individual, conscious wise, spiritual wise, all that, man. I don't agree with that shit. trying to change what God has endowed in a person naturally. No, I don't accept that shit. I don't. I mean, to each their own, but this is the shit that they're trying to do. The early feasible study is funded by the National Institutes of Health, the NIH, which is also one of those places that Fauci's got his hands in, and will evaluate the safety of the device known as the Stentrode, the New York-based company said. It will also assess how effective the Stentrode is in helping patients control digital devices hands-free, which that may be something that people might like. You may look at a lot of the technology we have out now, a lot of it came out and people accepted it and it made life easier and that was that. The rest is history, but the effects behind it, the intent, the sinister purposes may not be seen for years down the line. And that's the thing that has got a lot of us fucked up right now. But, like I continue to say, to each their own, but you have to look into this shit. You have to try to understand what are the motives and the intent behind it. So this is exactly the same shit that Neuralink is trying to do as well. So let's see what this brain-computer interfaces, or BCI, could empower millions of disabled people to more likely communicate, which would be nice, which would be lovely. But what if you got, look at the companies and look at the shit that's going on right now in the world. They can barely keep cities afloat far as financially. They can barely keep the infrastructure together all around. They can barely keep people's wages adequate for the rise in costs and everything else. And you mean tell me a person, and even throughout the pandemic, the hospitals, the nursing homes, the shit that was happening, the shit governors are accused of sending elderly to their deaths. They can't do nothing right, but yet a person would believe that this would help them. I don't see it. I don't see it. There have to be a lot of cleansing to go on before any of this could be able to be worthwhile. But like I said, anytime you try to stump out that which is naturally endowed upon a person, that conscious spiritual essence, and transfer it, to a computer shit, man. Come on, man. Get the fuck out of here. And at the helm of the controls of that computer could be somebody that don't give a flying fuck, trying to send your ass straight to the coal mines or the gold mines or somewhere to do some more enslavement work. Nah. So this is the same shit that Musk is doing. So you got another company out here trying to hook people up to computers. Maybe some people would like to do that. You got people, you got countries saying they trying to kill off the poor or giving them a choice to be euthanized. So, you never know. But it's crazy, a lot of the stuff that's transpiring as usual. And, when you throw in shit like this, every other week is something. When you throw in celebrities, motherfuckers been have to, motherfuckers sitting up, they've been throwing that Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial and shit up. Who gives a fuck? Who the fuck even paying attention to that shit? They wouldn't even, the sad part about it, they've been putting that shit on the news and other people been mentioning this shit and aware of it and paid attention to it. They've been putting that trial on the news for people to kind of follow. Like, for what? Why? Damn, well, who cares? I mean, who gives a fuck? But when it comes to other trials that should have been put on news, like that shit with Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's confidant, and the shit that was going on with that, that didn't get no airplay. It's funny how that shit happened. How the fuck they'll show some of those ridiculous shit between a relationship between these two celebrity people who really gives a damn. I ain't seen shit with any of them in it. I don't know how long. So I definitely don't give a fuck. But why would you show that shit when you got a situation with motherfuckers that's dealing with the misuse of children with high profile people that nobody still know who these names still ain't dropped, but you ain't getting not one fucking TV footage of that. Like that was less important, the fact that you got sex trafficking with youth and children from high profile people, and this lady is involved, and this and Epstein, who supposedly killed himself because of this shit and getting caught up in this stuff, and and all the other names are circling around it. And one of the most well-known, of course, Bill Gates, whose name ring around a lot of shit. But you don't get no airtime, no visible play on outside of a story here or there on the media with pictures from the courtroom stenographer, and yet you'll have this whole trial of Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. Like that shit is of any importance. It's crazy. And people fall for that shit all the fucking time. And now here we go. Dave Chappelle is attacked on stage while performing during Netflix is a Joke Festival at the Hollywood Bowl. This was last night. It's sad, man. So now social media exploded tonight with posts from attendees at Dave Chappelle's Hollywood Bowl show, which is a part of the Netflix is a Joke Festival. Apparently, Chappelle was rushed by someone while on stage. Attendees' phones were confiscated at the gate, so video and even photos are very sparse. But one video posted seemed to show the man smashing into someone holding a microphone, possibly Chappelle. Now, the first thing that raises my alarms is, why would attendees' phones be confiscated at the gate? Damn. Why is that? Why would that even be? Why would you need to keep phones from going into a well, I guess you don't want people recording that shit, the show or whatever, but damn, that's kind of steep. I ain't never been nowhere, where told you leave your phone in you. That's kind of weird. I don't know. I haven't been to none of this shit like this in a minute anyway, but attendees' phones were confiscated at the gate, so video and even photos are very sparse. But this one got out, and it shows, let's see what it says. Just shows a man running into somebody, and you really don't get much more of that, but accounts posted online said the man was corralled by security and possibly fellow comedian Jamie Foxx. Los Angeles police confirmed to ABC7 that they responded to a call at the bowl around 10:45 p.m. They indicated that a man was taken into custody. He was reportedly armed with a gun and a knife. In one posted clip, apparently after the incident, Chappelle is heard to quip it was a trans man, because that stuff that's been going on between him and the LGBTQ, there's so many shit, so many letters go with that, that community. And to be honest, that community is even being manipulated and used. A lot of them know that too. They realize that, look, I am what I am. But and I want respect for what I am, but at the same time, I'm not trying to disrespect others by putting my will over people. Come on now, you know, a lot of them feel that way, and a lot of them are rolling with this fucking fad of just putting your issues out there and trying to just stomp out everybody else with your shit. So let's see what this one say. Man that attacked Dave Chappelle at his show at Hollywood Bowl has hands broken and dislocated. Wow. I mean, this society has turned into nothing but damn. So this is the guy right here, I guess. They bit him, they bit his stuff. Wow. But you know, so you know, a couple of weeks ago we had the Will Smith shit. No, I'm surprised they don't even have the response that came from one of the other articles. Chris Rock was also there. Oh, here it is. The incident comes not just in the wake of Chappelle's comments in the closer, but also Will Smith rushing the stage to slap Chris Rock at the Oscars. After that event, many comedians expressed certain. No, it's not on here, but actually Chris Rock were here at this thing, and it said it was funny in one of the articles. It said that Chris Rock said asked, was that Will Smith? But it's crazy. This is the shit, man. They want people to constantly be involved in and shoot their energy toward. Motherfuckers clocking out here, motherfuckers doing irreparable shit. But everybody's null and void on how a lot of this stuff is transpiring. Why is it transpiring? Why at this moment in time? Why? What is the deal? So, you know, it's like I said, it's a lot more stuff going on. Each day reveals more and more. Here it is right here. Let me hell no. So let me show this one. It's crazy. I want to go directly to it. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Comedian Chris Rock, who performed earlier in the night, came on stage with Chappelle moments after the attack and joke. Was that Will Smith? So everything is, you know, everything is you know, I'm telling you, it's a clown show. Twilight Zone / clown show. And unfortunately, human beings who are way better than this, all of us are way better than this. All of us should instinctively know from gut feelings and intuitive feelings that, you know, this is not the way to go. It's not how we're supposed to be living. And the more that this shit continues to transpire as far as with the outright move to try and silence people's free speech. I mean, all of that's going to set it up for more and more stuff to come down the pipeline. And I remember was it last week? I mean, these folks brag about how the economy is, and you know, they always talk about, oh yeah, you know, we got job numbers and this. You know, they just did that. They just bragged about, oh, we got some, and I was trying to figure out how is that when I'm still riding around looking at places, still looking for people to hire. And it's been like that for the last couple of years. And I've spoke on this before. I know the reason why people, me personally, I understand why people are not putting up with that shit. So this is from yesterday. Zero Hedge, a record number of Americans just quit their job as job openings surpass unemployed workers by a record 5.6 million. But you let them tell it, unemployment is down. They just came out with some shit last week or the week before, I'm pretty sure last week. They just came out with some shit talking about unemployment was down and all this other stuff. You know, giving people some old fake reality that they can base their their talking points off of when they really don't know that these folks are giving you. That's why I say I don't. When they get to doing all this shit, a lot of times don't. You know, it's not even good to go into it, man, because once you do it, you might a couple of days later you might come across some more information. It's about the same topic, yet the statistics and the numbers and all that shit's totally different. So it's like, how did that happen within a week's time or a couple of days' time? Get the fuck out of here. But another month, another blockbuster JOLTS report confirming just how terribly broken the U.S. labor market is. Last month, the BLS reported that the U.S. job market was plagued by a near record 11.27 million job openings. Then moments ago, the BLS published its latest March JOLTS report, according to which job openings just hit a new all-time high, 11.549 million, blowing away expectations of 11.2 million, up from 205,000 from February and up 100,000 from previous record high of 11.448 million hit in December of 2021. So the question is according to the government stats and all this shit that they keep talking about, is it what's is right? Is unemployment down or is it not? And of course, they go into more graphs and this and that. And I already stated, and of course, you got people on here, the crime force participation rate has taken away some of these work. If you can steal 900 without prosecution, this encourages crime and reduces incentives to take a job. When people say shit like this, you know, they are part of the problem because they don't realize that you just as stupid as these folks putting this dumbass shit out and want people to bite it, take the bait. Because if you think that a lot of people ain't working because they just don't want to work or they lazy and all this shit, then you got fucking problems. If you cool with being treated like shit, if you cool with having to deal with working your ass off and still ain't got still ain't even got what you need to maintain or make it, let alone you dealing with bullshit with your company and with people around you and all this other shit. Some people just fed up with that shit. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, you got to look at it. Put yourself in somebody else's shoes sometimes. Big Mouse, I always want to talk about and be all in somebody else's shit. I mean, you never know what be going on in other people's lives. To speak on shit and just constantly lump everybody together like everybody's with that. A lot of times it's just shit happening. Motherfucker don't want to put up with that shit. And the sad thing about it, these same people who are commenting and making these dumbass assertions, why don't you take that energy to these folks that's stealing your tax money that you're working for, that you going to your job that you obviously you love, and to a point that you're willing to down other people who said fuck this working shit or workforce shit. This shit gotta change. This shit people gotta understand this shit gotta change. They're fucking everybody over. People going to work basically just to stay broke. And fuck that shit. Why don't you take that same energy to these folks that's stealing your money and sending it to Nazis? Why don't you take that same energy and to these folks who constantly lying to people and trying to force people to think a certain way? Why don't you take that shit, that energy somewhere else? But see, all this shit gonna come to a point where even people like that will know the reality of what's going on, man. And it's like, it's got to go there. This shit gotta open up, man, to a point where people can understand that, look, yeah, these folks been doing some underhanded shit the whole time. So I just wanted to go on there. I'm gonna get ready to get off here. Just wanted to share a little something. Um, I'm gonna share this real quick. Because the reality of it is, and you know, to be honest, I knew it was a problem. I didn't know how deep the extent was of the problem, but I knew it was already a problem, been a problem. But the last couple of years helped to exacerbate that problem and also expose how these folks ain't really been working on alleviating that problem either. Because if they were, you wouldn't see a lot of the shit that they're doing. So you see what's going on in, I just typed in housing crisis. Look at all them results. Renters face high costs, low inventories, housing crisis. This is all recent shit. Bay Area housing crisis sparks new rental concept that includes sleeping pods and share home for $800 a month. Pandemic housing market creates extraordinary wealth. I bet it does for those that's buying up properties and then renting that shit to people for high ass prices, knowing damn well them folks don't even make that much. In search of solutions to up the North housing crisis. Euthanasia is no solution to the housing crisis. And that's what I talked about the other day about them in Canada euthanizing poor people. And people are allowing that shit. They rolling with it. Another housing bubble. We're skating close to one, says realtors.com. The standard home in Canada now costs twice as much as in the US. So you know, and you see all this shit brewing up. I mean, this is stuff within days, weeks. It ain't like this stuff is years old. This is shit that's happening. Will the housing market crash? It's crazy. Yet you see these same people. You see this stupid motherfucking lying ass fake politician Democrat Elizabeth Warren talking about, I'm angry. Oh, are you angry about this shit? Get the fuck out of here. These folks, man, folks need to wake the fuck up. Start calling these lying ass pricks out. Male, female, black, white, call they lying asses out. In the black community, I'm so sick of hearing this same ass garbage line, man. And you know, a lot of black folks need to fucking wake up and grow the fuck up, just like I had to, and realize what the fuck really going on, man. And that's just fucking truth, man. Sitting up here rolling, sitting up here continually holding on to outdated ass information and outdated ass shit that hasn't done anything to help the community in a whole. The obvious and most constructive thing to do is leave it. If you see something ain't right, if you see something ain't healthy for you, ain't fucking with you, and ain't bringing some type of positive solutions, then why the fuck you keep using it? I don't understand it. I don't get it. But the more people continue to go along with it, the more shit like this continue to happen. And then these same people be crying and whining and bitching about, this shit happening. And all the motherfucker had to do and realize, look, these same motherfuckers you sitting up here protecting, speaking out for, and talking about this, that, and all this shit, what they're not doing shit. Because this is a war against humans. Anti-humanity. All this shit is about. So I just want to get on here and share a little bit. Hope everybody continues to have a blessed day and a blessed week. We'll be back on here. People have to wake up. I pray and I meditate with the intent that many people continue to wake up, because there are so many that are waking up and seeing shit. And there are so many people who have different ways of doing seeing shit but we all look at it as the same common ground that, you know, it's shit that is going on that is not kosher. It's not right. And you know, there has to be a time to acknowledge that shit and realize how can you work toward bettering it. It's no way people can accept these same fucking individuals in all our lives, man, controlling shit. People gotta come to a something like, look, this shit gotta come to the end. What the fuck? And I remember watching the video on the housing crisis and on a channel called Truth Stream Media, and you know, the question, like the lady that did that documentary, she's pointed out, if you got these folks telling you, you know, you can't work, you can't do this, you can't do that, you're homeless for whatever reasons. A lot of it may not be because a person just late, just because of how the economy and shit is happening. People forced to live like this, and the places where they try and figure out where to stay, you know, tent cities or wherever, in their cars and all this stuff. And then you have these same political people moving against them, saying you can't sleep here, you can't do that. Where are they fucking supposed to go? And that was a good question she said in that document. Like, where the fuck these people supposed to go? You're not, all these abandoned ass buildings and houses, they're just sitting up, you know, causing criminal activity or just blight to neighborhoods. None of that shit being remodeled or repaired or even fucking torn down. Why the fuck is it even there then if it's not being used? With all the homelessness, you would think that it would be used for something like that. You would think, you know, the governance of this country would be moving to do shit, you know, the help people like that, since they got money to burn and send over here to Ukraine and over here for stupid ass experiments and over here for other dumb shit. If they got all that money, why the fuck can't they do that here? And then they'll have these same lawmakers sit up here and come out with shit saying they moved homeless people here. They can't do this, they can't do that, they can't do that. Where the fuck they gonna go? These are human beings. So where they gonna go? If they can't get, if they work and can't even afford to stay in a fucking house or apartment or anything, you know, can't even stay in that motherfucker for a week because the rent's so goddamn high. Let alone, you know, dealing with everything else, food, clothes, you know, where the fuck they supposed to go? Where are they supposed to go? Are y'all gonna remove them from society or what? And that's a thing that, to be honest, a person should be aware of, man. And so many people living with other relatives and all that shit. This shit is a fact. They like this shit is false. But you got all these motherfuckers sitting up here talking this shit. All these fake ass leaders in the black community. I ain't got no respect for a lot of them, especially when y'all asses all on want to talk shit about act like you can't see past or got selective hearing and seeing, you can't see past a certain level. And then, you know, they can't see past not taking responsibility and ownership and accountability for a lot of shit motherfuckers do in our own community, which gives rise to a lot of this stupid shit these folks do. And we always get caught up at the bottom of the barrel because we won't even acknowledge the shit going on within ourselves first. So you got all these fake ass black leaders acting like they really give a fuck. A lot of them ain't sitting out here campaigning on that shit. Same motherfuckers talking about justice and equality. Are you talking about justice for homeless people that incapacitates a lot of black folks too? No. So get the fuck out of here, man. People gotta understand, man. Anti-war, anti-humanity shit going on. And I leave you as I came in the greeting universal words of peace.